Florida's an interesting place for insurance. So here's the top 10 things you need to look into before you buy a second home or consider moving into your primary home in Florida. Number one is the building age. Buildings built prior to 1982 were built with different elevation charts, and you're most likely going to need flood insurance, especially if you buy a single family home that's built prior to 1982. And the insurance is going to be really tough and expensive to get, especially in a coastal area. Number two is how old is the roof? Roof age and how the roof is attached to the home has changed in the past 10 years due to hurricanes. And so if you have a newer roof, you don't have anything to worry about. But if your roof is over 10 to 15 years old, you need to make sure you get a 4-point roof inspection on that done so that you know you can procure insurance on the home. Next is the assessments. If it's in a condo association and they had a storm or storm damage recently, you need to look and see what were the assessments done to that property in that condo association in the past couple of years. Get a good handle and an indication on that. And which leads me to my next point is condo reserves. So the reserve account for the condo association or the homeowners association is going to pay for things like common area roofs, common area walls, painting, landscaping, etc. And you need to know that your association has the reserves on hand to handle it, so you're not just getting the buck passed to you through your assessment. When you get your insurance policy, make sure you have a loss assessment sublimit item. It's usually $1,000 to $5,000 that your insurance policy will actually reimburse you for assessments passed on to you by your association. Next is the elevation of your property. Elevation certificates are documents you get, and they can be passed on from the prior owner, just like flood insurance can be passed on from the prior owner. And get these documents so you know what kind of flood zone your property is in, and if you need to carry flood insurance moving forward. The roof, year built, and elevation are all three items that really can drive insurance premiums through the roof if you're not paying attention to it before you make an offer on a property. This is kind of a joke, but consider Arizona. It's less hazardous. The premiums are less. The only thing you got to worry about is your air conditioner bill down there. Next is storm windows and shutters. So a lot of properties that are newer have hurricane-proof windows. And if you don't have hurricane-resistant windows or high-wind windows, you need shutters that come down or that can manually be put up. The storm shutters can be electronic and done with a remote or a switch. Some of them can be manually cranked down over those areas that are prone to high winds that aren't hurricane-proof. But keep in mind, if they're manual and you have to put them up like they're stacked up in the garage, it's about $500 to have them installed for each storm. 500 on, 500 off. So automatic windows shutters are a really big key point to have when you buy a home in Florida. Lastly is paying attention to the flood insurance in the flood zone. I mentioned it briefly, but you can get the flood insurance passed on to you on a property from the prior owner to you. This is very unusual in insurance that you can assume a policy that was already written from somebody else, but you can do that in Florida. And just ask your realtor or the prior homeowner that you're buying the property from, if it's off market, what that flood insurance policy is, and get a copy of it so you can transfer it over.